A brand new track to the championship. Well, as we heard, Tom Coronel, like everywhere in Japan, has plenty of experience here. He's won here in Super GT, won here in a Honda NSX, he's won here in Japanese Formula 3. Not sure he won here in Formula Nippon, but certainly he raced here. So Tom, having spent 5 years racing at all levels in Japan, plenty of experience. However, didn't help him particularly. He was only 11th fastest in the free practice session, but again, with everybody only doing, well, the most was 11 and the least was 3 laps. No, the least was 2 laps. No, it wasn't. Total number of laps, most was 12 and the least was 7, which is Hugo Vallon's. And so a variety of different car setups being tried, clearly by drivers who had only ever seen this on the simulator, and teams who've only ever seen it on the simulator. And in addition, there'll be wildly different life left in the tyres and all of that sort of stuff. No point putting on any fresh rubber at all if you're only going to spend a dozen laps really trying to work out where the track goes. Although the simulator tells you where you're going next, it doesn't really give you quite the same feel that actually driving a car does, even though there's very little in the way of elevation change. Almost uniquely for a Japanese circuit, this place is flat as a pancake. It's not in a very flat area. As you can see, there are hillsides all around, but the track itself, not very much in the way of elevation. Heading up the hairpin at turn 10 is about the only place where there's, there you go, there's a shot of the pit lane going uphill to prove to that I'm a total liar, but other than that, it's kind of a bit like Shanghai. Not much going on in up and down. So out of the pit lane into 2 right-handers, turn 1 and 2, then 2 lefts, turn 3 and 4, these inventively named corners. Turn 4 nominally opens onto a short straight up to turn 5. Jose Maria Lopez, as is his wont, going out a little adrift of everyone else. He likes to know where he's going and what he's doing. Turn 5 to the right, and then they go under the speedway. There you go, a bridge. Just like on your Scale Electrics track. Other electric racing championships are available. They're not good, but they're available. And then the only bit of elevation from corner 6, gradually wind their way through the left at 7, the longer right at 8. Up to turn 9. And then sort of continues to climb up to turn 10. And there's Jose Maria Lopez just a little behind the field, dropping down very slightly into turn 4. He's just having a very leisurely pootle out. You can see the banking of the speedway when we get round the corner. There we go. Out of turn 5 and under the bridge. And that is in fact the return back straight of the speedway, going down to driver's right as we go left into 7, and crown 8. Again, very little crown in the road at all. No camber in the track really to help you. Turn 9. If you're running, you would probably notice the incline. Off turn 10, by the way, long straight back down to 11, 12, 13, 14 that finish the lap. Van Muller now up to speed a little bit more and leading the train. Van Muller with an awful lot of work to do in the championship. It wouldn't hurt his chances if he won every race from now on in. 4 race weekends here in Japan, Shanghai in China, then the new race in Thailand and the equally new race in Qatar. So 4 race weekends, 8 races. 55 points maximum on offer each weekend. So that's 220. And he is currently 55 behind. So he's an entire weekend behind exactly. So what he actually needs is for the sort of issue that afflicted a couple of our drivers who are on the entry list. Ricard Rydell and Nika Racing's Honda are on the entry list, but not here. The car missed the boat, literally as well as metaphorically, to come here. And we have another interesting entry. Nanin Inja Payun, who's a 19-year-old Thai driver, ex-single-seater driver. In fact, he's won Japanese F3 races here. A couple of years ago, he was on the podium at Motegi when he was doing the full Japanese Formula 3 season. And he was due to drive a Campos Racing Chevy, and for logistical reasons, you can join the dots on that, it may well be that he races in Thailand. Possible, I suppose, that he'll also race in Shanghai, but that has yet to be decided. So it is as much Hondaland here as it is in Suzuka, and the Hondas were quick in the unofficial testing, or official testing. Gabriele Tarquini was quickest, Norbert Mikelic was second quickest, and Thiago Monteiro fourth quickest. Only world champion Jose Maria Lopez got in amongst them. We have yet to establish a lap record. 1:57.14 was the quickest time set in the training session. So any lap that goes inside that now will be a new track record. Record. Gabriele Tarquini fastest at the moment then, 1:57.3. So 2 tenths away from that. Sebastian Loeb second, Norbert Mikelic third, and Thiago Monteiro in fourth place. So the Citroens come streaming across the line. Interesting that the track seems to suit the Hondas, and whether that will continue to be the case throughout the weekend or not remains to be seen. There's one big long straight here, and that should be enough to allow the Citroens to use their straight line advantage and peel out and pull past people. Tom Chilton goes to 9th fastest ahead of Hugo Vallant. Chilton had a problem with loose wheel nuts, or the nut loose behind the wheel, one or the he claimed it was the wheel nuts. Vallant goes now faster than Chilton as Stefano D'Aste, previous race winner in Japan, goes ahead of John Philippi. And you watch Rob Huff in his Lada Vesta. Low-speed circuit. It is relatively low speed. It's not got a lot of high speed stuff. Could well suit the Lada. To wait and see quite where they feel the grid and where they fit into the mix. In terms of grids, penalties for engine changes after massive shunts last time out in Villarreal. Remember that? July, before it started raining every day. Not even first corner, off the start line in race 2, Thiago Monteiro got between two of the Ladas, didn't he, and ended up bounced heavily into the wall, and that wrecked his car, and as a result an engine was one of the many bits that needed changing. Nico Lapierre has been grass cutting. Oh dear. And gravel trapping. And worrying the marshals. So Thiago Monteiro, massive rebuild bill, and engine change, which is what will enforce the grid drop. He'll be dropped to the back of the grid for race 1. Race 2 doesn't have an effect, otherwise that would be a double penalty for one offence, which is not allowed in FIA rules. And the other man with an engine change was Lada driver Nick Katzberg. Now, Nick was one of the 2 cars that unintentionally squeezed Thiago at the beginning of the race, but Katzberg himself had a big shunt into the roundabout at the end of race 2 in Villarreal. That too resulting in an engine change. Here comes Rob Huff. We saw Nico Lapierre coming in as well. And to my certain knowledge, this is Lapierre's first ever outing in a front-wheel drive touring car. But he's only, as far as I'm aware, raced a proper car as opposed to a prototype or a single seat or whatever once, and that was the electric car built by Dennis Snowbeck for an E-Grand Prix event. And Dennis Snowbeck hired Nico Lapierre to do the driving. Lapierre's link here is Hugues de Schonack. The Schonac's Orica team, of course, were involved with Seat for a number of years. When they were in the championship, it was Orica run Ivan Muller who won the title with the Seat Diesel, not any of the Seat Sport Run drivers, whom there were many and varied. And de Schonac's Orica outfit, as well as doing many other things, is also involved not just in the engine department but also with development work for Lada with the Vesta. And he is very much a favoured son of de Schonack and the Orica team. A reliable set of hands. He's raced for them on a number of occasions. However, as Nick Katzberg found when he joined the championship, coming from a rear-wheel drive GT background, this is a very different kettle of fish. Very much different driving style required, and Katzberg will now have to re-educate himself, having been away from this for a while, racing GT cars. Indeed, he and Jaap van Larken will be sharing GT cars later in the season as well. So 2 friends and neighbours get on very well, make a very potent driver pairing. Gabriele Tarquini, Norbert Michelis, Sebastian Loeb and Thiago Montero, your top 4 ahead of Muller, Bonani, Mar and Lopez in the remaining Citroens. Rob Huff in 9th place with his Lada before he came in. Here's Norbert Michelis, got married in August to his longtime fiancée, so congratulations to him. Zoltan Zengo, like everybody else, looking a little jaded this morning. Everybody a wee bit jet-lagged. 9-hour time difference to Europe is enough to make everybody feel a little tired. And then getting, if they weren't actually awake, they were probably tossing and turning at about 5:30 this morning when a 5.3 earthquake sent tremors through the place. Epicenter of the earthquake just outside Tokyo by all accounts, but certainly felt here. But yeah, we have that in England. 5.3 quake in Birmingham a couple of years back, 4 or 5 years back now. Caused pounds worth of damage. No damage done here, and the 2 typhoons that swept through have come and gone as well. Didn't seem to be very major damage in the region. A lot of rainfall, and that probably will have swept the track nice and washed the track nice and green. However, since nobody had any setup for a green track or a rubbered in track, it's a fairly moot point. Thiago Montero ready to go back out again. And his focus when we get to qualifying will absolutely be on race 2's grid. So there's going to be a bit of a bun fight shooting for 10th place. And there's going to be a lot of jeopardy there, because he certainly, Nick Katzberg certainly, will be trying to get that 10th place in Q2, which would guarantee them pole, 10th or 9th, guarantee them a front row start for race 2, because they've got nothing in race 1. They're going to start at the back no matter where they qualify, so all their attentions will be on that 10th position. However, they certainly won't be alone, with 3 Hondas and 5 Citroens in the top 10 as well. You would like to think that probably that is at least 7, and really should be 8 of the top 10 places kind of accounted for, unless something changes in the form book dramatically. And then you've got 2 drivers who are going to get a penalty. Well, one of them is Thiago and the other one Nick Katzberg. Then you've got Rob Huff, who'll be trying to get in there as well. You've got all the Chevys trying to get in there too, as well as our other Lada drivers. So, as ever, there's a dozen people who could easily be on the podium. And there'll be 15 who could easily be 9th and 10th in qualifying. It'll be interesting to see what happens in Q1. Particularly interested to try and judge where Ivan Muller is versus Jose Maria Lopez, versus the Hondas actually. So if Lopez ends up managing to find another one of those laps that he pulls out of his sock drawer occasionally, we won't know until we get into Q3 for that, which will be the ultimate tester in pace. But if Ivan isn't close enough, he might end up having to take a punt on a bottom of the top 10 Q2 run as well, and aim for that race 2 front row to try and give him the best shot of winning race 2, assuming that Lopez wins race 1. But that's too defensive for Muller. He can't really afford that. He has to go out and grab hatfuls of points off Lopez. At the moment, as you see from the timing tower, Ivan is 5th and Jose Maria in 8th place. Between them, Quinhua Ma and Ma Quinhua. Tom Coronel in his Chevy Cruze, currently propping up the bottom of the times, which is not really what the Dutch driver wants at what is effectively his home race now. He doesn't have a race in the Netherlands, so we've only ever had one race weekend in the Netherlands in World Touring Car Championship. So when he comes to Japan, where he lived for 5 years, then he really does feel like this is his second home. It's not just a little bit of nice PR spin. He's got a genuine affection for the country, for the racetracks, and especially for the racing fans. He's had a lot of success here, Tom, before his World Touring Car career, and since he joined the World Touring Car Championship, we started coming to Japan, he's won more times than anyone else. He's had 3 wins in Japan. And incidentally, just wanted to send our sympathies to his partner Pauline and the rest of the Tsart family. Pauline lost her mother a few days ago, and so our thoughts and our very best wishes to Pauline and the family. Let's do something about the contrast on this camera, don't we? The sky's very bright, we're seeing almost nothing else. climbing up the hill. Long 180-degree corner, the hairpin takes us onto the straight, just over this little brow. Does this place remind you of Oschersleben? Apart from the fact it hasn't got a really stupid first corner. It does me. But the bank's built up around the side of it. I know partly here it's, mainly here, it's because the speedway, it's got that sort of feeling. Into the main straight then, past the main pits. Not a long straight. The back straight, which has also got a set of pits on it, is actually longer. And you come off a long hairpin as well. Now, not sure whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Probably better than coming off a high-speed corner where your car washes out if you're close to somebody behind. To be pretty ambitious to get a move in on the front straight into turn 1. Back straight down into tight right-hander at turn 11. That might be the place. No official announcement from Honda yet this weekend about future plans. Understand that it is close. I think it's going to be, as far as we gather from the feeling, is that it is going to be a positive decision for the championship. Interesting to see them. Didn't see where the wing started that adjustment. But interesting to see them seemingly winding a bit of wing off the car. So raising the front mount to stall the wing a little more, not to stall it, but to make it less aggressive. The reason for that is either, or both, of the car not rotating quite enough. So too much grip at the back and the car's not turning, and therefore the front tyres, particularly since quite a lot of this is medium to low speed cornering, have to do too much work, overheating and understeering, or not quite enough speed in the straight line. They want a few more kilometres an hour out of it. Now, reducing the rear wing will do both. It'll give you less downforce at the back going into corners and under braking, which will make the thing a little bit more wriggly, but it will also reduce the drag. And of the two, couldn't tell you which one they're looking for as the end result. They will get both as the end result. Car will be a little bit looser and will be a little bit less draggy. Nice onboard view as Ivan wriggles around the final corners. Nice control building on the right. Yeah, see, long corner like that, if you look at it on paper you go, yeah, that's not too unlike Tarzan, but it's more of a gradual turn going in that sort of tightens, which is, I don't know, not convinced that's going to be an overtaking point at all, I'm afraid. I think passing here might be a little tricky. It's sort of straight, couple of corners, straight, couple of corners, straight, couple of corners. What you need here is a Seat Turbo Diesel. Twitches it into corner 6. Somebody's going to have to make a mistake for you to get through into this section. into turn 9. Continuing just a little climb up the hill to turn 10. See there, as Val's coming off 9, a little entrance into the other pit lane. Tiago Montero heads out. Another one of Lada's was in the practice start box. Really, Tarquini, it would seem, he's still on top of the times. A little bit sketchy on that, I'm afraid. Five minutes on the clock, and the Honda's still looking strong. Apart from the first couple of minutes, we haven't actually seen any positions change, have we? Montero at the moment. Looking like he's completely sold. The other two Hondas, Michaelis here and Tarquini, who haven't seen them, have been a little bit more committed. Norby's been quite interesting. Every time we go to brand new circuits that no one's got knowledge of, and he's not done Japanese F3, or he's not raced in single-seaters in, I don't know, Formula Renault Euro Cup or something that takes you to, different tracks, and didn't do anything before he came into saloon car racing, except gaming. And it's interesting that he seems to be one of those who really gets on top of a brand new track immediately. I don't know if you're getting this.
Another hairpin right-hander, front wheel drive, almost 400 horsepower. To lay down, as you can hear a bit of wheel spin. It's double wheel spin, so it's not too much of a problem. One thing they're working on in the Lada at the moment is the traction side of things. We know we struggle there. Good under braking downhill, down to third. Into the right downhill, off cab, on horrible, nasty. 4-9 a sense of every racing driver's nightmare. Back to the left. Difficult combo through here, easy to lock up down to second, cross that curve back to the right, then on the power, understeer, out to the exit, up to third, up to fourth, up to fifth, that's a lap of all the new Honda.
Still got a couple of issues then with timing and everything else. Gabriele Tarquini, Norbert Mikelic, Sebastian Loeb, Thiago Monteiro. So no improvements in time for ages. Seem right? I don't know. 30-minute free practice, fastest time set in the first 2 minutes. Possible. I'm in no position to argue, I'm afraid. Although Tom Coronel is no longer below Gregoire de Moustier, so, however, he'll be utterly unthrilled at being 2 seconds behind. Utterly unthrilled. I know it's not a word. Nico Lapierre in 16th place. And this is going to be hard work for Lapierre, who I do rate as a driver. He's a very good sports car driver, and he's bright and he's fast and he's good at learning things, I guess, but track he's never seen, car he's done 2 days testing in. It's not enough to get your head around how to drive these cars. They are utterly different. And everything that you rely on, the instinct, the things that you don't think of that help you drive the car in a way that other people can't, he doesn't have any of those. Not for these things, because they don't do what he expects them to do, or what he instinctively imagines is going to happen. And again, imagine is not even the right word. The instinct is, if he does A, B happens. Not in these. If he does A happens, or C, or Z, or something else, but not the B he's expecting. And that's going to make life very difficult. And then when you're in traffic and trying to make your way forward, as you will be, and of course the team have no setup information other than what they're garnering from the other drivers. And that remains true for everybody else. Everybody else has got at least a little bit more information about the car and how it works. There it is, Esposito on the pit wall, the team manager of the Yas Honda organisation. Drivers now taking the checkered flag at the end of our first free practice session. Too overheated, so it's definitely not scorchio in the cars or out. As you can see, it's a little bit overcast. Not bad temperature. 20 and a couple of degrees air temperature. Nothing exceptional. So I'm not quite sure what the weather's going to be like in Thailand. I have a feeling it'll be less the temperature and more the humidity they'll be worrying about. Shanghai can go either way, can't it? It can be scorchio or it can be absolutely hosing. Sort of like Silverstone, really. But and there's, again, no way of knowing which way that one is going to go. It can be pretty bitter, or it could be really quite hot. And we've had all sorts of extremes and everything in between there. And Qatar, probably not going to rain that much. You know, just venturing that. I know it's left field as a thought, but you know, whatever. Gabriele Tarquini. Final lap from him, or final lap at speed from him. Fastest in the test session and fastest so far in free practice 1, and that doesn't look likely to change. 2 seconds, 2/3 best results for his season, so just 4 trips to the podium. Quite worrying propensity to score zeros. Of course, when you've got, we look at it on our championship charts now, you also get zeros for qualifying, so that's sort of doubles the number that everybody scores. He'll be 6/10 back. Loeb 8/10 back. Muller 1.1 away, and he's only 5th. Some big old gaps. Thiago Montero's on 9/10 away in his rebuilt car. And behind the top 10, Hugo Vallant ahead of Tom Chilton and Tom Coronel. So Vallant again finding a little bit of pace, but from there, 11th quickest. Not sure we're going to see any of the Chevys into Q3. There haven't been too many times this year when either Tom Chilton or Hugo Vallant haven't got through to Q3. Maybe this will be one of those. Tarquini. Design on the helmet. Red, white and green flames. That's changed a little bit. See Alex Legui heading in there to grab him. Tom Chilton's out of his car. Better of the two Royal Motorsport cars. Best of the Chevys in the test session was Tom Coronel, in fact, ahead of John Philippi, Stefano D'Este, Hugo Vallant, Tom Chilton and Grégoire de Moustier. Nico Lapierre, 1:59.3, didn't in the test session, didn't see what he just did. That's all right, write it down. Foolish me.
He had a fantastic day yesterday, and once again, Gabriele, you are on top. What's it like out there? What are you learning?
The engine was better than yesterday. Yesterday we tested new item, didn't work. Today was very good, so I'm very happy with my setup. I changed many things from yesterday, and seems to work correct. So this provisional pole position gives me more confidence than yesterday. The car feels great to drive. I feel very happy with this track. So it's give us some positive things to continue the weekend.
That's what we like to hear. Thanks, Gabriele.
Gabriele a couple of hundredths quicker than he went in the unofficial testing. Second quickest, Norbert Michelis, did a 57.76. And in testing, he did a 57.65. Jose Maria Lopez tested 57.66, and here he did a 57.98. No, he didn't. Lopez did a 58.62. He wasn't anywhere near the top of the pile. Wasn't third quickest, was he? That was Loeb. So, quite a few people got nowhere near the times they did in free testing yesterday. Nico Lapierre, for instance, a 59.